Hello and welcome to an Everquest guide on how to gear up from 1 to 120. This is an update to my 1 to 115 video, so a lot of this stuff is the same. The 120 stuff is at the end if you want to skip ahead. But everything else, there's a few updates here and there from suggestions from viewers, but for the most part it's the same. So this is for live servers only. You might be able to piece some of this together on TLPs, but I don't have experience on what's available at certain times on those at this time. Mostly this is the path I've taken. There's a few viewer suggestions from the last video that I've added in here. All the recipes and more information in text form can be found on either eqtraders.com or eqresource.com. They have lots of information for this too. So 1 to 75 Defiant is your best option. There's a level 70 to 80 version of the gear, but it starts to peter out about around this point. It's like 200 HP or 300 HP per item, whereas you can get items that are 1,700 HP per, which are definitely better. All right, so for 75 to 100, you have two options. Option 1 is the one I took when I leveled up my first group, which was do the Gribbles missions over and over and over and over until I had enough marks of valor to buy armor every 5 levels. And that'll get you all the way to about 100 doing that. And you just do the group missions over and over. There's quite a few of them. There's at least 3 that are really easy, which are the Gribbles ones. They're located in I can't remember the zone, but they're in that zone. I have a video on it somewhere. You can also level from 75 to 100 doing this too, so it kind of goes hand in hand, and it's a really easy way to do it. Let's see here. Let's go next one. The other option is the Broken Mirror armor sets, which are kind of unique compared to the rest of the armor. This will do 75 to 105, but it's really hard to do starting at 75, I'll tell you that. This involves doing a quest in Plane of Health, I think is what it's called. And then, yeah, right here. Plane of Health, and the quest starts in Tranquility. You go in there, you do the quest, it's a little run back and forth, and then you do one group mission, which isn't terrible, but you're probably going to need a group, so you're going to want to multi-box that or group with somebody. If you know somebody who's higher level, a level 120 can literally one-shot everything in the thing at once. So it's not that hard. But this one has tradable currency, which you can also buy in the auction house. And once you have the armor unlocked, you can just buy the augs and stuff to do that. I have another video I'm working on going through this whole process and how to do this, but yeah. So it's, you know, minor progression to unlock this. It's into the temple, seal of approval, into the temple B, and then that'll give it to you. And I think seal of approval gives you like a whole level if you're like in the 70s. So it's a lot of experience that you can get doing this. It is doable with a group though, so that's that. And the way this armor works is it has I think 4 AUG slots, and you can buy AUGs to put in all the spots, and it levels the gear up. So you buy like a default armor piece that's level 75 usable. I think maybe it's actually 70 usable, but you can't do the mission until you're 75. And then you can buy like a type 5 AUG, a type I'll go into the other video, but you buy all these different AUGs. They all upgrade every 5 levels to do the same kind of gearing, and it's better armor than the Marks of Valor armor that you can buy, so it is a better option if you have the ability to do it. Another alternative is 92 to 95 is the Reign of Fear armor. This is found in Shard's Landing, dropped by mobs. You can also buy it in the auction house. And then the tier 2 version of it is also dropped from stuff, but you have to have the tier 1 to make those. So kind of it's an option if you're doing Shard's Landing and all those zones. 100 to 105 Castaway armor. I've never personally done this, but it was recommended by Elwood EQ. He has a YouTube channel. Go check it out. He suggested this, which is Castaway armor, which is tradable, drops in the Darkened Sea zones. So that's the Sunken Kata and all of the zones off that. It looks like you have to just buy one single item to combine inside the armor, which is a catalyst. And that seems to be a trend as we go further and up. There's a vendor item that costs money, plus an armor container to make armor. So 105 to 110. I forgot to credit the person who did this one, actually. But this one, this first one, Amorpheus Selrach, EOK Tier 2 armor is attainable through, let's see, what are these? The names in the missions and the names in the Tier 2 zones, so like Chardok and stuff like that. You can obtain this armor, and the viewer, I forgot the name, says all you have to do is click on it and you get the item, and there's no work involved. There's no going by emblems or anything like that, so it's a good alternative to I think it's about as equivalent to the Ring of Scale armor, maybe less, but it's an option if you can kill the names in EOK Empires of Kunark Tier 2 zones. You can also buy it in over there, according to Alakazam, for 1,000 gems / currency, which I believe is the currency you get from doing the EOK missions. And there's a goblin mission that is really easy to do. I did that a few times while leveling up in Frontier Mountains, and it's really easy. So it might be a way to do it. I just haven't personally done that. Ring of Scale Trade Scale armor. This is the Conflagrant armor. It's really good. You can use it at, I believe, 105 or 106. It's completely tradable. Sells for a lot depending on the server. EQ Traders has all the recipes and stuff like that, but if you already have TBM armor for 105, you can skip this. I skipped from TBM armor all the way to TOV Tier 1 when I did my Shadow Knights playthrough. And then another viewer suggested Burning Lands Tier 1 Weeping armor. Now, on EQ Resource, it lists the container as a 1 in 10 requirement, but the final item that it makes is a 105 requirement. So I don't know if you can combine it at 105 and use it. So I've never done anything in the Burning Lands to be for sure on that. So buyer beware. So the containers for this armor drops from Zephyros Flight, the very first TBM zone. There's a few names that these items drop from. So if you can kill them, definitely worth something to do. They only require the emblem plus a vendor item to create the final item. And there's all the visible slots for this armor. And this was suggested by Juan Sanchez from the only 1 to 115 video. All right, and let's see here, 110 to 115. This is the Torment of a Velious expansion. There's 3 tiers in this one, and this seems to be a thing going forward. And I believe this was in the Burning Lands too. I just didn't do anything in Burning Lands. But there's 3 tiers in my opinion. There's the Tier 1 dropped armor, Tier 2 mission armor, and Tier 3 crafted armor. I call it Tier 3, but some people don't. That's just the way I do it. So Tier 1 is tradable, so you can buy this in the auction house, and you can buy the Snowbound ore from Crystal Caverns, and that is tradable too. So you can obtain this armor without having this expansion, but I think it's free now, so I don't know. That's the Faded Snowbound. The Tier 1 named drop this, so Eastern Wastes, possibly Great Divide and Crystal Caverns, and the Mines, and then the Gricklore mission is the only one that drops these. Tier 2, which is the kind of a mission armor, I would call it, because all the other missions drop this faded icebound armor, which is dropped from what is it, Velks, the sorcerer mission, and I think the Great Divide mission too. I can't remember. I've only completed that a few times because it's so long. But this is armor container emblem plus blizzard ore, same vendor in Crystal Caverns. You can buy that, and I believe it's tradable, so you can send one character to go buy a bunch of ore and then come back, so you don't have to bring all your characters there if you're doing multi-boxing. Faded Velium. This is the crafted armor. I actually made a full set of this for my tank because he was getting smashed by COV stuff. But the ore for this drops from the Grick lore mission, which is completely trivial. If you can do that, you can farm this armor pretty easy. All the trade skill items are fairly easy to obtain. You only need to buy a 5,000 platinum infusion medium to craft the final version of this, and it's pretty good armor. And then we get into 110 to 115, the COV expansion. Same concept, right? First two tier 1 zones, crystal Cobalt Scar, Western Waste names, they drop the Faded Snow Squall. This is no trade, whereas the Snowbound was tradable. Keep that in mind. So you have to be there. This stuff rots all the time. If you're, well, it used to. Now there might not be as many people there, but during the expansion, this stuff just rots. I'm always, whenever I kill something, I was just leaving it on the corpse and announcing it in the zone. This requires Snowbound ore from the vendor in Western Waste. Same thing with the tier 2, Dragon Necropolis, Sky Shrine, and Sleeper's Tomb. And all the missions will drop this. All the missions, I believe, are tier 2-ish. So they all drop this armor, which is it uses the Blizzard ore. Same concept as the Snowbound ore. These are like 20 to 25,000 platinum each for the ores, so keep that in mind. And then Faded Restless, this is the trade skill armor. This is the tier 3. This is 300, skill plus to make. It was fairly expensive. I should probably take that out there now. Now getting the crafting materials for this is almost trivial. I have like thousands of everything now that now the expansion's over. But it's armor container emblem plus the crystallized restless ore, which comes from the missions and the named in the tier. I think all the names actually in the expansion drop the same ore, so you can get this in Western Waste from those names too. And then this takes the 5,000 platinum infusion medium to finally, those 3 items to craft it. And then probably what everybody's looking for, the TOL Terror of Luclin 115 to 120. So this is the new stuff. They have the same tier system as the other ones. So Maiden's Eye Umbral Plains drops the first container, which is the waxing armor, which is uses a waxing crescent honed lucenite, sold by a vendor in Maiden's Eye. The tier 2, which is the waning armor, this drops from Kevethian, Vexthal, Shadow Valley, Basilica, and Bloodfalls, and the names in all those zones drop the same armor. And you buy Waning Crescent Honed Lucenite for this. And this stuff rots a lot. If you go to any of these zones, you could probably pick up rotting pieces. I'm going to log on to Nomad Guard, and I'll show you how much is on him. Vendor... yeah, it's all drops comes from the same vendor in Maiden's Eye. The tier 3, Faded Blooded Lucenite is the crafted armor. It uses the mission ore, so all the missions drop the same ore, and all the names, even the tier 1 names, drop the same ore. So you can get you can farm Maiden's Eye for all the names for the hunter, and you can get some ore, and you can possibly make this. It is very expensive now. People are selling silks. 1 silk takes 10 silk to make 1 heavy cloth. They're selling that for like 75,000 each on my server at the moment, and that is ridiculous. I literally went and spent a whole day during my vacation farming silk. That's literally all I did, because that is my current bottleneck on making armor, is silk. It takes 10 silk per patch, and it takes 1 to 4 patches per piece of armor. It's quite crazy. And this one requires the Lucinite enrichment medium, which is 28,000. The raid version is 48,000, so keep that in mind. But it's good armor. It's good. So yeah, that's all that. Same, pretty much same thing, just different items. All right, other things. So 85 to 90, there is a House of Duel Obtruse armor. It's about equivalent to heroic armor. It's just a pain to get. 90 to 95 has available Tross armor. I've just never done it. 100 to 105 has EOK armor. 105 to 110 has ROS armor. Ring of Scale. And those are all dropped from the names and stuff in those zones. And you know, if you're killing those names and stuff, then you're gonna want to look into this and see what you can do and stuff like that. Burning Lands armor. I just don't have enough experience with that one to know anything about it or how to even progress through it. That's something we're gonna work on eventually with No Regard. Just I'm bogged down with other quests at the moment. And then you're just gonna pick up random stuff during the things. And yeah, that's about it really. The gearing's pretty standard. All these names, because you're gonna be killing names for like all this stuff, right? They also drop it's like, so the tier 1s usually drop tradable items. Maiden Zion, Umbral Plains. I know Maiden Zion. I'm pretty sure Umbral Plains, the final loot is tradable, so you can get tier 1 weapons and stuff like that. And the missions, they drop weapons, tier 2 weapons, and then crafted weapons. I typically go for weapons first on all my characters. So like I made my rogue's dagger first. That was like the first thing I made because it took his DPS up a lot. And going from a tier 3 COV dagger to a tier 3 TOL dagger. So to me, that's, you know, that's like the biggest bang for the buck, is upgrading the weapon first. And all this tier 3 stuff has weapons. It has all the non-visible spots like cloak, mask, and all that stuff. It's all craftable. And all that other stuff drops from these missions too. So you're going to be picking up at the same time. I just focus on the visible stuff, because getting it, you're going to get all the other stuff. And there's so many different combinations of like stat priorities and stuff that it's just different. You know, each class is going to be different. So questions or comments, please post them below, and I will try to answer every question. I try to answer everything I can, or figure out what the answer is. But that's that. You know, other things, that's the YouTube channel, the Twitch, the Twitter. Don't use it at all. Reddit, I post all the videos to Reddit in a subreddit. Discord, if you have questions and you want to ping me directly or ask in the chat, there's a few people there now, I believe. Just drop a thing. I answer all the EQ emulator questions and try to help as much as I can with that. And then I have an Odyssey, which is a YouTube alternative. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go do another video that is more detailed on the TOL armor, comparing all the different ones. I didn't want to bog this video down with that. And then I'm gonna do a video on TBM armor to kind of explain that. There was a request from the last video that I forgot about. So those are some upcoming videos also. But thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.